XL bully attacks have made headlines across the country, leading to calls for the breed to be banned.
Is it time to bring in tougher laws and ban more dangerous dogs?
Firstly, why the name? Well, the breed is seen as an extension of the American Pit Bull Terrier. Over time, these dogs have been crossbred with other types of bulldogs. The XL refers to the dog's size category, of which XL is the largest. They can weigh up to 60 kilograms. The breeds in the spotlight after 9 of the 21 fatal attacks since 2021 came from the XL bully breed. 3 children were among these, including 10-year-old Jack Liss. So, it's led to calls from MPs and police about an outright ban, joining 4 other breeds currently on the ban list. The government's announced they'll be looking into new measures to reduce attacks and promote responsible dog ownership. But who's to blame? The owners or the dogs themselves? The government is working with charities like the Dogs Trust and the RSPCA. They say no particular...
Okay, I think that's a good point to stop. Okay? That is a good point to stop this video. Now, they said a lot of things that I think were incorrect, but that one was icing on the cake.
The government is working with charities like the Dogs Trust and the RSPCA.
Whoa.
New measures to reduce attacks and promote responsible dog ownership.
Once again, we got this phrase, responsible dog ownership, and they have not yet described what that is. There's still no example of what a responsible dog owner does. What exactly do they do? You all go on and on about how the solution is responsible ownership. What do they do? Do responsible dog owners hold on to the leash tighter with a tighter grip? Is that what you're calling responsible dog ownership? Is it the dog owner that has their dog on a leash compared to the one who doesn't? Because even in that example, the person with the dog on a leash loses control of that dog all the time. You can't blame someone for losing control of a dog. Okay, they're simply not capable of controlling it. No matter how hard they try. That means there's no such thing as a responsible dog owner. Now, me, myself, I'm not that strong, but I'm stronger, I think, than the average man. Like, I can lift a pretty good amount of weight. There is no way I could control one of these things, even if I had a tight grip on the leash. Once these things go into attack mode, or even if they're not in attack mode, they can snatch me off my feet, cause me to fall, or they can lunge with so much force, they snatch the leash right out my hand, or they can break the flipping thing. These beasts, these monsters, which are not pets, have broken through glass doors head first. A leash is not going to allow you to have control over these things. You're not going to have physical control over these things. So there's no such thing. Now, maybe there is such a person in your mind. You're the one who keeps saying responsible dog ownership. Why don't you tell us what that is?
But who's to blame? The owners or the dogs themselves?
Both. Stop with that dumb question. That's not an argument. That's not a debate. That's not a hot discussion of whose fault is it, the dogs or the owners. Both. The dumb dog is a deranged, dumb, violent, prone mutant. And if we're talking about bully breeds, that's what they were bred for. They were bred for fighting. So it's a deranged, violent, deadly creature. So that's why it's the dog's fault and the dog needs to go. But it's also the idiot who brought them into society. It's 100% equally the dog's fault and the owners.
The government is working with charities like the Dogs Trust and the RSPCA. They say no...
Nothing makes me angrier than to hear these people say that it's not a dog's fault for attacking someone. Here the dog is launching a physical attack, biting, stabbing people, a child, and these nutters sitting back saying that's not the dog's fault. If y'all don't shut up with that nonsense. Yes, it is the dog's fault, and if it does that to me or tries to attack me or my family, I'm going to blow its hideous face off. I'm not going to shoot its owner, okay? I'm not going to shoot the dog's owner in self-defense. I'm going to take aim at the dog attacking me. Don't tell me it's not the dog's fault.
Particular breed is the problem. Kay is a dog trainer and also owns...
That's that same woman. You see that? That's that same woman that was on that talk show. And this airheaded dingbat right here, walking over there and trusting that this other dirtbag right here has complete control over the brains of these dogs. You're dumb if you think that any of these dog owners have complete control over the brains of these dogs. Is he safe to pet? Does he bay? No, he doesn't bay. That idiot has no idea what that dog's going to do, and you should be bright enough to know.
Kay is a dog trainer and also owns an XL bully. She agrees stricter laws on breeders and owners would help the situation.
The problem is that they need to regulate the breedings because it's like...
No. Here she goes. That's their go-to card, is to say the breeding of the dog is the problem. The breeder has nothing to do with it. These things are already completed. They've been bred into existence already. They've already been bred for fighting on a genetic, biological level. What y'all doing is not the same. Y'all dealing with the completed product. So what are you talking about? The breeding is the problem. Notice y'all don't see a population of harmless pit bulls, do you? Of course you don't. There's no such thing. But there should be. If what they're saying was true, then there should be a population of people who raise these things the right way, the responsible way. But there is no such dog owner.
A lot of these breeders are just random people who buy dogs for the sole purpose of breeding.
So what? How is that wrong? There's nothing about that that makes the dog violent. These breeders are not doing anything that you're not doing.
Without actually understanding anything about the genetics, about the composition.
Yeah, they understand. They understand enough. They understand that this is a fighting breed. Yes, they do. They understand that it's violent and it can kill. Yes, they do. And that's all they need to understand.
So what is the temperament of a well-bred XL bully?
So these are family dogs.
Look at that. Y'all see that dog slobbering on her leg? Look at how disgusting this is. This is why I say we are not obligated to be in the company of these people and their nasty mutants. Keep an eye on that dog's tongue and watch saliva drop from its tongue onto her pants. You see that? You see that? And then it places its nasty tongue on her, putting even more saliva on her. And of course, all over her pants and her shirt, you see saliva stains everywhere. And of course, much of that is probably hair, lint, and nasty excrement from these mutants. Look at her sleeve right here. You see that snot and saliva from these dogs. All over her pants, here, all over her shirt, here, up here, up here. This is nasty. This is disgusting. Okay? This is what the world is paying attention to. The nastiness and the unsafe environment caused by these mutants, but also the disgusting nastiness. Look at this dumb, hideous mutt looking at all up in her face. This is what I hate about dogs. This is why I refuse to come around these people. I don't want to sit on someone's sofa and have this hideous mutant all up in my face with its stinking face and breath. Spit and saliva, you nasty dog freaks. Let's talk about how disgusting this is.
So these are family dogs.
Oh.
The composition.
You already know this lady is laying some thick propaganda on us here. Let's listen.
So what is the temperament of a well-bred XL bully?
So these are family dogs.
No, they're not family dogs. You know what? These people should not be allowed to run their mouth in public saying that these things are family dogs. For anybody to talk about bully breeds as being family dogs, you need to be silenced. If there's one breed, if you had to choose one breed to categorize as not fit for a family dog, it would be bully breeds. So stop saying that.
Completely different to like staffs or staff crosses where they have a more higher energy. XL bullies don't usually have high energy.
They're both bully breeds. She just compared XL bullies to Staffordshire Terriers. They're all bully breeds.
They're quite docile, friendly, just fun.
This thing, again, y'all are very immoral for breeding these things into existence. Look at how simply breathing, this thing uses its entire body to just simply breathe. The thing's entire body moves as it's breathing. That is so deformed. What other animal has to put forth this much effort and energy into breathing, simply breathing? And then you can hear and see them sound like they're out of breath all the time. There ain't nothing normal about that. That's immoral. You have mutated these mutants so bad that they are just visually dysfunctional. Oh, that is satanic.
XL bullies don't usually have high energy.
Now you see that dumb mutt, how it's reacting to every time she moves? You see that, right? Every time her hands move, it reacts. See? Because it's so food obsessed. They're always focusing on people's hands, wondering if some food is going to magically show up or appear in their hands. It's pathetic.
XL bullies don't usually have high energy. They're quite docile, friendly, just fun-loving family dogs.
I'm sorry, that just obsessed me so much. How these people just flat out ignore the reputation, the track record of these things. That itself is criminal. And again, this woman's clothes is disgusting. You see dried up saliva all over her clothes.
Even lazy, to be fair, Owners need to realize, number one, the training that's needed for any dog, it's not just about bullies. Any dog and every dog should be trained, big or small.
No, and that's part of the problem. I just read an article today that talked about that. They headlined it, talking about trained or untrained. They was talking about other breeds that were dangerous and that were more aggressive than the XL bully. And they pointed out this one bully breed. They said, if it's not trained, they can be dangerous. They can be very dangerous if they're not trained. There are no bad dogs, only bad owners who don't train them. And that is another con. Okay? The very fact that you're telling me that they need to be trained so that they won't attack people tells us it's the dog's fault, that the dog is the problem. The dog is the source of the problem, and it's the number one entity to blame for dog attacks. I don't know what y'all talking about. It's the owner. It's not the dog. It's not the dog's fault, please.
Owners don't even have that basic training. Your dog should never run up to another dog or another person or a child. What we should do is be preventative.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so you got to train it not to run up to people. That's pathetic. So the dog in its natural state, it wants to just run up and violate people's personal space. That's what you're telling us. And that's what we hate about these things. Okay, let it run up to me. I'm going to feel threatened. Any large bully breed run up to me, I'm going to feel threatened, and I'm going to release some bullets. Okay, don't run up on me. Don't run towards me. Very fact, you sit here and admit that it has to be trained to not run up on people tells us that the dog is the problem. Don't tell us that the owner is the problem. You are the problem being dumb enough to be in possession of these things.
Rather than wait until it's too late.
The charities involved in the government's review want to see the current dog control laws replaced with one consolidated law that...
Man, there's nobody who can convince me that it should ever be acceptable to have these things as so-called family pets. Man, I would pull out my gun just laying eyes on this thing if I had a family. What in the world would possess a parent who has had a child to bring one of these things into the home? I have no idea. Wow.
consolidated.
So during this whole time, during this ban, this facade, that was that trainer. Did y'all see that? That's that black girl with the dreads. Dog just tried to bite her.
Measures deterring and punishing.
What was that all about? Now, what did she do in that moment? Huh? Why did it attack you? Huh? This was that dog trainer, that same dog trainer. And what is she talking about in this moment?
That include preventative measures deterring and punishing.
Wow, you big dummy. You big idiot. And they want to criticize. And this is the trainer. This woman is a dog trainer. And you see the dog attacked her. So y'all don't even possess this magic that you claim to have. Y'all don't possess this mystical ability to control the brain of these mutants. We got proof on film right here. This mutt just attacked her. It attacked her. And what did she do? Notice she ain't do nothing. She just stood there. She was barely even moving, people. Barely even moving, and this thing attacked her. And she's still trying to convince us that something is wrong with us for not wanting to be around these things, for not wanting these things anywhere near us. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Dog was on a leash. Dog was on the leash. There's your magic leash, huh? This facade with this XL bully has been something. You know, this video was actually uploaded 2 months ago. So it surfaced before talks of the ban. So they knew that it was going to be banned because you see the title of the video, the XL bully. The next dogs to become a banned breed. And this was uploaded 2 months ago, 377,000 views. Probably one of the reasons why that black girl trainer went on to that news show. They probably saw this little documentary and invited her to the show. You can see it has almost 700 comments. 700 comments. And I like that the very top comment says, I disagree with many on here in that I'm afraid I think they should be banned. They're simply too powerful for the average owner. I'm sure the woman who was killed last year by the 2 XL bullies she'd raised from a puppy would have agreed. She was training and socializing, and she was killed, and she raised them from a puppy. We hear stories like this all the time. Isn't it normal to hear stories like this? Either it'll be a trainer who was attacked, or the person who raised the dogs from a puppy who was attacked. If not, the dog will attack someone in the home who they grown up with. These things have no soul. They have no humanity. They're nothing like us. And that's why I'm not obligated. We are not obligated to respect the existence of these things. 100% justified to hate these child murdering, child predators. You need to examine yourself. Now, I thought this was funny. I don't know. I know some of you've heard about this. This guy who was against the XL bully ban. And he decided to go out to this rally that they had. And he was attacked by an XL bully while he was at a rally, defending XL bullies, and ended up being attacked by an XL bully himself. I thought that was funny. You know what, buddy? That's what you get. That's what you get. This is what you wanted to defend. So I don't want to hear nothing. Don't write no article about this guy and his experience. Nobody cares. Matter of fact, it's better that he was attacked rather than someone's child. Right? Moving on. They kill me trying to get sympathy. After, they've embraced a dangerous lifestyle. You don't get no sympathy. XL bullies. Now, I had a few people having a discussion about this. I think in the chat room of my most recent live stream, I know there was some people having a discussion about this. Why did the organizers of this rally, of this march over there in the UK, so UK? Yes, UK. Why did they decide to not bring their dogs? Well, Yahoo did a story about it. Why did organizers stop the controversial dogs from attending their own breed ban protests? Obvious question, right? If your goal is to prove that these things are misunderstood, that they're harmless, why didn't you bring them? Isn't that telling? The fact that they decided to not bring any of the Bully XLs to the rally, doesn't that tell us what we need to know? Why didn't you bring them? You don't have to scream. You don't have to make signs if you bring the Bully XLs with you. You don't have to do none of that. All you got to do is show people, look, they're harmless. Do y'all know, before this event, one of the organizers actually said that they want the people to bring their Bully XL along with their kids. One organizer said, I want to see as many XL bullies and children as possible. Oh boy. Yeah. Here's they're talking about it right here. However, there were none of the dogs in questions on display at the protests themselves, leading some advocates for the ban to ask why their owners had not brought them along if XL bullies were really safe. Oh, yes. That's the question. Prior to the demonstration, London World reports activists were warned in a message that police will antagonize and seize your dog. Why? If you have your dog on a leash and you're in accordance with the law, why do you anticipate police just for no reason taking your dog? That don't make sense. The concern among protesters seemed to be that either members of the public or police officers would purposefully harass or bother the dogs to upset them. Then they would use any negative reaction, meaning the dogs launching an attack, as an excuse to take their dogs away. Now, how many people believe that? They decided to not bring their Bully XL because they believe members of the public, who is that supposed to be? Like people like me? That likely would not have happened. Nobody was going to try to antagonize your dog. That don't make sense. And they said that either members of the public or police would purposefully harass or bother the dogs to upset them. That's ridiculous. That's not even a believable statement. No, y'all decided not to bring those things because you all know they're dangerous. And you know that there would have been at least one fight. You got a whole bunch of Bully XLs. So you got a bunch of Bully XLs. And you got a bunch of kids. That's a recipe for disaster, and y'all knew it. And you knew that you could not afford to have a kid get their head bitten off at a rally, at a protest. That's why you didn't bring them. Want to hide behind some ridiculous lie that they made up in their mind that the members of the public or the police would harass these killing machines and upset them. And then when the dogs react and can't take it no more of being harassed by the police, they will then defend themselves, right? That's your story, right? Innocently defend itself from being harassed. Stop. A similar sentiment was expressed by Jake Harris, who is organizing the Birmingham March. He initially said he wanted to see as many friendly dogs. See that? He wanted to see as many friendly dogs, children, and families as possible, but changed his mind and said no dogs would be allowed. Yeah, I bet you did change your mind, buddy. Again, you notice how when it comes to these dogs, the more big and powerful and deadly, dangerous the dog is, the more likely dog owners are to bring kids around that dog. That's the first thing they want to do because they view that as the ultimate way to prove that the dog is harmless. Bring it around a kid. That's why they are always at this march there in the UK. They had pictures blown up of kids with XL bullies, alone with XL bullies at this same rally. Right? Which is crazy to me. They sitting around making billboards of child endangerment and flaunting it, knowing that nothing's going to happen to them. On his later decision to allow dogs under 6 months old, he said he feared people would take photos of the gathering that misconstrued and further villainized the dogs. Feared people would take photos? What's wrong with that? He said the simple fact is I don't want no camera taking pictures of a dog that's barking to go play with another dog, because social media has this power to do numbers. They can portray this whole meat off one picture. Now, I don't understand what he's saying. You don't want no camera taking pictures of a dog that's barking to go play with another dog? So yeah, you don't want people to take a picture of a dog barking because it wants to attack someone or attack some other dog, right? That's what you meant. That's what you're saying. That's what you really wanted to say. Oh no, I don't want people taking pictures of a dog that's barking, and it's barking because it wants to go play with another dog. Okay, buddy. Yeah, whatever. The honesty of the pit bull advocates. So instead, they said that the people could bring puppies. This is a direct quote. If you want to come and you want to bring a dog, bring a puppy. Don't bring no big full-grown dog, he added. Why? Because you know, a grown dog will attack someone. And notice how he said don't bring no big full-grown dog. Notice how he had to get specific when he said bring a puppy. Because as we all know, many of these nutters will say that a dog is a puppy, even though it's just as big and bigger than many adult dogs. They do that all the time. That's just a puppy. Oh, that's just a puppy. This thing big as a horse. And these nutters will come out and say, oh, it's just a puppy. But when the organizer says, hey, you can bring puppies, they had to specify and be specific because they know what that means. You tell them, oh, yeah, you can bring your puppy. You're going to see giant full-grown dogs out there. So this sentence right here revealed the con. You just lied or confessed that y'all run that con of pushing fully grown dogs off as puppies. And they planned this for a number of months. So I have 3 XL bullies. Look at this. I have 3 XL bullies, and not one of them would hurt a soul. You don't know that. You don't know that. You have no idea if it will attack anybody else. You have no idea whether or not it will attack you. So stop it. Yeah, they might look big and scary, but they are big family dogs. I don't care what you call them. They're dangerous. Simple as that. Most people weren't even scared. Look at this. He said before the ban, most people weren't even scared of them. Stop. Before the ban, you all would record yourselves walking in public places with these dogs so that you could record people's fear when they saw it. Y'all do stuff like that, and then when it's to your convenience, you will say that nobody's afraid of them. Stop it. You know that was a bold-faced lie. These nutters, these pit nutters, they can't wait to see people look afraid when they see their dog. That's the main reason why they like to bring these dogs out in public. Let's be real. All you pit nutters, you owners of bully breeds, as soon as you step outside, you can't wait to see people afraid of your dog. It gives you a high, and you know it. So that's pathetic. That is pathetic. Even their march failed. Tried to have a march in defense of these things, and then at the march, somebody gets attacked by an XL bully. A grown man gets attacked by an XL bully. And you all change your plans at the last minute and say that you're not going to bring the same XL bullies that's being banned. That would have been the best way to prove that they're harmless, don't you think? If y'all would have brought a bunch of XL bullies out there around other XL bullies and nothing happened, there was no fights, you know how good that would have looked for XL bullies, how that would have made you all look, but y'all didn't have that much confidence in these dogs, did you? You wouldn't have had to scream or make posters. You all could have just brought hundreds of XL bullies and people would have saw that they would have been peaceful for hours and then left. That would have been the whole demonstration right there. Y'all knew y'all couldn't do that. And that's telling. That's telling. No XL bullies, don't bring them. As they protest trying to convince us that they're harmless. Okay. Another thing is people's overall ignorance of dogs. I think people need to be educated on dogs in school. Should be in the public educational system. Ban pocket bullies and XL bullies, says King Standing Mom after horrific attack. So she thinks, along with XL bullies, they should also ban pocket bullies. Y'all might remember her son was attacked by a pocket bully. But it sounds like she's not that familiar with dogs in general. Because there are, when you're talking about the pocket bully, XL bully, there are 2 more. There's the standard bully, XL Bully, and I think there's two more. Maybe that's it. There is the standard XL and like the traditional or whatever when it comes to them. And those other two need to be banned as well. She didn't mention those. And if you want to talk about what needs to be banned because it's dangerous, you need to talk about all bully breeds, and you need to also include German Shepherds, all large dogs, period. There are no large dogs that are harmless. There are none. But if you are so uninformed about dogs that you're campaigning for a specific type of bully breed to be banned, you don't know enough about dogs. Because it makes no sense to, campaign for the pocket bully to be banned when there's 8 other bully breeds that are legal for people to own. And through this whole fiasco, I've only heard one person actually say what needs to be said, which is that all dogs that are capable of killing or launching a disfiguring attack should be banned. And that's how it should be. And that would include a lot of small dogs. That's just what it is. We can't pretend like babies don't deserve to be protected from dogs. We can't pretend like toddlers don't deserve to be protected from dogs. And if you allow people to own small dogs, guess what? Them dogs are going to be inside of homes, unmuzzled, around infants, around babies. If we're talking about safety, small dogs should be banned right along with the large ones. Okay, and you should actually ban them first. Ban the small ones first, because they are the ones most likely to be trusted around kids and babies. Which is why when you look up attack statistics, many of the small dogs have launched attacks on babies and toddlers. But anyway, Dog Expert slams the call to ban Rottweilers. Well, expert slams calls to ban Rottweilers from Australia over fears they are dangerous. Dog Expert slams calls. An expert has called for tighter regulation in dog sales. Here you go. Here you go. After multiple Rottweiler attacks. And he said that outlawing the breed will do nothing. Instead, a new breed will pull focus and the cycle will continue. Here you go again with that removing the dogs won't work nonsense. Yeah, if you just remove Rottweilers, that won't do nothing. But if you keep going, you'll find results. We all know that. Stop playing dumb. Williams believes no dogs are dangerous, and it comes down to their training. No, you can't say that. That don't even make logical sense. If no dogs are dangerous, don't follow that up by telling me that, as long as they're trained. If they require training to not be dangerous, then they are dangerous. And even after your training, they're still dangerous. And we just watched, just a couple minutes ago, we just watched a dog trainer get attacked. Now, what else do you want to talk about? What else do you want to sit here and try to lie about? No, it don't come down to their training. These dogs are not intelligent enough to retain instructions from training. We're not dumb. When I first started doing this work 25 years ago, it was the Doberman that had a bad name. Then it was the Rottweiler. Then it was the Pit Bull. And all of those are dangerous dogs that should all be banned. Doberman should be banned. Rottweiler should be banned. And I'm saying that they should be banned right now. So yeah, you ain't saying nothing. The dog behavior expert said many owners aren't aware of embedding bad habits in their pets. Uh-oh. For example, William advises against playing tug of war. Uh-oh. So they took that trainer's statements and made another article about it. I've already talked about this trainer who said this. So notice, this is like an unprecedented narrative that's put out by dog experts, that it's dangerous to play tug of war with your dog. But how revealing is that? If you tell the public that it's dangerous to play tug of war with a dog, do you know how many other things you're also saying? You're saying a whole lot by making a statement like that. Because the dog does not need a human being to play tug of war. They can simply bite and pull and maul on anything. If the act of biting something and pulling on it, and that something that you're pulling on is showing some type of resistance, that dog can simply bite on a sofa. As it pulls on it, the sofa is going to give resistance. So these things can train themselves. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What in the world is this? Is there a video playing? I'm sorry about that. Something's going on. What are y'all looking at? Here, wait a minute. Let me change this. I got something going on here. It looks like it's showing a video that I don't want y'all to look at. Okay, y'all should be looking at this article of this mutt playing tug of war. It's not playing, it's training. It's practicing fighting. That's what it's doing. And they don't need you to do that. They don't need no human to train them to fight. So here this man, you see the exact same quote has been put in this article. A dog can't understand the concept of play. That's a human concept. All the dog understands is biting and ripping. So biting and ripping increases the likelihood that the dog will attack someone. Thank you. Thank you for admitting that, for sharing that information. You see that? A lot of my rallying against dogs, I just sit back and let the behaviors do it for me. Wow. If I wanted to build a case, if the Supreme Court said, hey, IHD, come make your case against dogs. You make a good enough case, we'll ban them. I would get up on the stand and I would quote this trainer word for word to help build my case against them. Wow. While many who have fallen victim to dog attacks say that the dog switched just like that, or I did nothing to provoke it, Williams says their training can cause situations to escalate. So all of this tug of war will make the dog more violent. They say that the dog simply biting on something will increase the chances that the dog will attack in response to a sound. Right here, in a normal calm situation, let's say someone screams or squeals, the dog is trained to react when it hears the squeak. They're referring to playing tug of war as why it will attack in response to a sound, or while it will attack for no reason. That's what they explain in this paragraph right here. They're saying that the training, the playing tug of war with the thing, is what caused it to attack. So right now there should be a state of emergency. The president needs to get on TV right now and tell everyone who owns these things that they're about to be confiscated. Law enforcement is coming to their home right now to take possession of their dog. That is exactly what should happen. Based on this information, dogs should be categorized as a safety threat. Having these things inside of homes where there are children present violates the reckless endangerment, child endangerment laws. They should be confiscated based on that law. And with this information in mind. This information came from a dog behaviorist. It came from a dog expert. So that's enough credibility for even the president to ban these things based on what this behaviorist has said. But because this is a satanic cult, a bunch of demonic culture and people, devilish, evil people, they're going to continue to defend and protect these murderers. Look at what this behaviorist said. He said, the dog never snaps for no reason. There's no such thing as a dog attacking for no reason. Now, we all know that's a lie. They'll sit there and tell us that, oh, it attacked because it was afraid. And then you notice that there was nothing for the dog to be afraid of. But they will say that anyways, because there's no way that you can prove that. They don't know what's going on in that dog's mind. So they try to tell you, oh, it was just afraid of you. But yet other animals are not afraid and launching attacks on us because they're afraid. Don't buy that. So they're talking about desexing them. Yeah, whatever. Don't desex them. That's not going to help you. And that's immoral. Are you a dog lover or what? You want to castrate them? Would you do that to a human being? Do you think that would be a humane thing to do to a person? Castrate a person? Well, you say dogs are so human-like, right? So why are y'all so willing to castrate these things if they're so human-like and they deserve to be treated just like people? But they're A-okay with chopping their genitals off. Sounds pretty inhumane to me. Right? These people, same ones, talk about being humane. Oh, it was humanely put down. Humane. Oh, it's time to chop the genitals off of my dog. Oh, Lord. Shout out to everybody. Let's have a strong Monday today. I'm going to get ready here to go to work. And I hope you all stay dog free today. If you have to put down a worthless mutt, I hope you are ready and prepared to do that. And I hope you're able to get some of it on film. Definitely look forward to sharing exclusive content, preferably of a crusader who successfully defended themselves from a mutant. Big shout out to everybody, and I hope to see you all back on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.